and welcome to the Official Watches YouTube channel. Here at Jardin du Mayfair, heaven on earth for the watch enthusiast, I have two really cool watches to show you today. These are both under £4,000. Just before we get started, guys, my tech team have informed me that we now have up to 77% of you not subscribed. So please, guys, if you could just hit that subscribe button, it would mean the world to me, and it means I can keep these videos coming fresh and hot every week. Okay, so I have the Cartier Santos 100, and I also have the Cartier Drive Moonphase. Let's start with the Santos 100. Having blown our minds and wallets recently on some serious sights of haute horology, we thought we would come back and go down to earth a little bit and take a look at a pair of seriously good watches that are under £4,000. Now, not only do they represent excellent value for money, as well as coming from a brand who is riding high on the tide of popularity at the moment, they're also from the maison that brought us the first ever wristwatch for men. Yes, that's right, you heard it. And if you haven't guessed already, it's Cartier. It would be rude not to take a look at the one that started it all first. So we're going with the Santos. This was released in 1904 when Alberto Santos Dumont, a groundbreaking Brazilian aviator, complained to his friend Louis Cartier that grappling with a pocket watch while trying to fly a plane was quite frankly a pain in the rear. Louis' response to this was to design and present Alberto with a large square flat watch that took its design cues from a similarly shaped pocket watch that Cartier had previously made. The bezel and crystal were secured to the watch with industrial-styled screws, alleged to be a nod to the Eiffel Tower, with the black Roman numerals evoking the layout of Parisian boulevards. It was an exceptionally striking design, with a clear Art Deco influence. The movement was produced and supplied by Edmund Jaeger of Le Couture fame. So all things considered, it was a recipe for success, and more to the point, completely revolutionised how watches were used. The Cartier Santos was made available to consumers in 1911. It was offered in various metals and mounted on leather straps with deployment buckles. Another Cartier innovation, which if you look at today's watches, caught on like wildfire. Now, we've chosen an older model to have a poke around at today. It's the medium-sized 100. The 100 was launched in 2004 to commemorate the 100-year anniversary of the Santos. It was offered in two sizes, large at 41mm and medium at 35.6mm, although both were larger than their specs due to the shape. The 100 differs from the current crop of the Santos in that it still retains the square bezel and leather or alligator strap. So it's a shade closer to the original design than its successors, which had their bezel adapted and elongated in 2018 when the Santos was relaunched with a redesign and an integrated bracelet with an in-house movement, after being discontinued for a spell in 2016. The medium model is considered unisex and genuinely is, as it has a pleasing mix of being compact but exceptionally readable and still packs enough presence to wear a shade larger than a Datejust, so it's perfectly sized for a medium wrist. Of course, now being 2024, we don't agree with any kind of gender sizing on watches. If it looks good on you, you should wear it. The dial is exceptionally legible, thanks to the thick black Roman numerals which radiate around the outer track and offer a strong contrast against the white dial. If you look at the V at 7 PM, it contains Cartier's secret signature. The hands are outlined in black with a healthy dose of lume. It's sporty but also elegant and quintessentially deco. The crown features the signature blue Cartier cabochon and it's set inside the crown, and movement-wise this 100 is running a high-grade ETA movement rather than an in-house, which is a bonus for independent servicing. All in all, it's a superb entry to the brand and a genuinely timeless model, which is not surprising given that by my rudimentary calculations, the Santos is now in its 120th year. Think about that. It's in fashion 120 years later. Amazing, Cartier. Okay, now in contrast, our second watch, the Drive Cartier Moonphase, is a dressier option but with the same visible deco DNA. It was released much later in 2016 but discontinued in 2022, so quite a short production run, and is a very intriguing, not to mention tactile, cushioned case that isn't round or square. It's a 40mm case which wears more like a 42. It has a height of 12.2mm and it sits low and wide on the wrist. It's very, very comfortable and fairly formal at the same time. It doesn't have the squat, square sports appeal of the Santos, and it takes a minute to get used to, but once you do, it's a fantastic shape. As its name suggests, this has been designed with automobiles, specifically vintage ones, in mind. Cartier previously offered the car-themed Roadster back in the early 2000s. Suffice it to say, that was the design that was more likely to be based on Stephen King's Christine than the Aston DB4. The crown mimics the bolts used to hold cars together back in the day, and the guilloche of the dial is said to be evocative of an old radiator grille. Above and beyond that, there's nothing really that links it to motoring, so you can appreciate the watch without being a petrol head. Legibility is excellent on this piece, and much like the Santos, it uses stark black Roman numerals against a white background, along with steel blued hands, which are unloomed but still very visible from any angle. White dial, blue hands, this is turning into an Oscar watch. I really like it. Now, this particular model forsakes the date found in other drives in favour of a Moonphase complication, which is set using a pusher in the side of the case. There are no seconds on this one, which creates a nice symmetry to the dial. That said, a lack of seconds can be polarising because some prefer to set their watches dead on time and then observe the accuracy, where others take a more relaxed sort of approach to timekeeping and will just reset when the minutes begin to drift. Now, personally, I do tend to take the more relaxed approach, but either way, whatever you're into, the caliber 1904 LU for Lunar has a double barrel for precision timekeeping and a 48-hour power reserve, so you're pretty much good to go. The alligator strap is pretty formal and secured using a deployant clasp. There are no holes in Cartier deployant straps because fit is taken care of by folding the strap into the deployant that it sits on inside the edge of the band, which is both comfortable but more importantly tidy because there's no tail on display when the watch is being worn. I think that's a huge plus. It uses a spring bar system rather than quick release of screwed bars. And it has a lug width of 20mm, so straps can be changed by the brave at will. As this isn't a designated sports watch, it has a water resistance of only 30 metres, so it's splash proof, but don't schedule any trips down to the Mariana Trench with it. So there we have it, two superb watches from Cartier, both below £4,000. In my opinion, they're pretty unbeatable for the price. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this YouTube video as much as I have enjoyed making it. Please do hit subscribe and I'll keep these videos coming fresh and hot just for you every single week.